our streets! Nazi scum! Off 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 our streets! Believe it or not, I don't like Nazis either.
Of SDL men have crossed the border and travelled hundreds of miles south down the length of the land. They have done so to support the casuals and the common people in the British lowlands. So today I and others like me have travelled north across the border to repay them and stand with all of you, the casuals who make up the SDL. It's been 18 long months of endless marching the length and breadth of the land, and like many here now around me who have marched, I have little money left and wonder where the next meal will come from. But I know, like you, I would say if asked, we will not cease, we march on. The reason is brutally simple. Like many here, I have watched over the past 40 years as our culture has been assaulted from every direction by the world that surrounds it. The industries, factories and workplaces that sustained our communities and our culture have over several decades been systematically mismanaged and run to collapse and then sold to foreign interests. Throughout the media and the school system, we the common people have been depicted in every medium that exists as dysfunctional, malfunctional, abusive and addictive. Our children are programmed and fed this whichever way they turn. Never are they shown the qualities of the culture they come from. Always, whichever way they look, they are depicted as the lowest of the low, the chavs, worthless and of little intellect. But all the while, throughout this assault on our culture, our people have sat, drunk and hypnotised in a trance induced by the glowing telly. They smile like simpletons while the telly fills their dulled minds with the problems of people that do not even exist. All the while, the real world around them has grown sicker and viler by the day. Honour killings, female genital mutilation, and hordes of the most obscene butchering warlords that darkest Africa can disgorge. All of these people have flooded in as the telly has glowed in front of our hypnotised people. The children and the young are helpless before this assault. The land is filling with the whole world's criminal and paedophile cultures. But those who breed and rear our culture's children are more in touch with non-existing characters, and they have turned away from the children's needs. I have come north with little to sustain me, and I have no great name to receive me, and too old am I to be of use to the fight. But this I know, forever until my last breath, I will not cease to say I march as a casual. For in the face of all I say, this is all I have to fight with. I feel honoured to stand before you because I know that I stand before some of the most esteemed casuals in this island. We are against the whole world, and more to the point, we are against those who control it and believe they own all upon it. I think many of you will believe as I that the masters of the world who sit in their high places have decided that we the British common people are an obstacle to their long-term plans, and they have marked us out to be diluted and removed from history. We are all that stands between the end of our culture and a nightmare for the children. But I know that I am in the finest of company here and throughout this old island realm. So let these captains and their rich friends know this: we are casuals and we will not stop. The young will tell a tale when they are old of how we marched and gave our ancient culture its heart and its soul again. If it's to be our culture's end, then we'll make these our final days the best and the most glorious. We will show the world who we are, and by doing so send a message that will ring in the ears of these rich captains of industry, these bankers and the masters of the world. They do not have enough money or wealth to purchase one drop or a single second of our ancestry, and all the years they spent in their fine schools and esteemed institutes could never turn out the quality of character that is found amongst we the common people, for we are ages bred. So if these are the last moments of our people, then these are the only words the world will hear us say. We march on to the last step, and the last breath, there will be no surrender. Islam is on the rise in Britain. It has been led to cement itself in the Muslim communities for the past 40 years.
Well, past the present government panders to the Muslim communities, the so-called Islamic communities, for the name of taxpayers' money and the guise of the government funding. That does not stop Islamic extremism being preached and taught in the mosques and the Muslim communities. This money, your money, has helped fund the jihad against our culture, the religion and democratic way of life. Well, the Muslim community plays the victim, held us to the victims of 9/11, Nairobi, Madrid, Bali, 7/7, the Moscow bombings, Mumbai, and all the church massacres in the Middle East. The list goes on. Every day you hear Muslims around the world, home in Britain, screaming for the blood of Christians, Jews, homosexuals, Sikhs, infidels, kuffars. Every day bombs and killing in the name of a God, and they say they're religion of peace. They have the grass neck to blame the West and us for the hatred. Barnes recently commented about the growing mistrust about Muslim communities across modern Britain. He chooses to turn a blind eye to the serious growing problem. That's why Christians and other faiths in this country are descended in hatred that is growing in Muslim communities. Which is aimed towards your faith and your culture. Corrupt politicians and councillors and baronetcies, this liberal-minded nonsense has created this such problem. As we all know, Islam is not a liberal ideology. Kill and convert is its modus operandi. So when did our government sell their soul, a nation, to the devil? Is it quite clear in practice for the media and uneducated to attract in this multicultural diversity celebrity brainwash, which is a superficial lie and a deceitful ploy to take our eye off the ball. This has caused the deterioration of our religion and beliefs and culture and tradition. Thank you. It's a pleasure for me today to return to this town, the home and birthplace of my grandmother, after so many years. We are all British, proud and patriotic, and a united union is a stronger one. Together we'll never be broken. Recently the leaders of the three biggest nations of Europe have declared that multiculturalism isn't working. It's easy to say, but are they willing to do anything about it? The first immigrants to this nation, by and large, have integrated into our culture and respected our rights. However, over the last 13 years, Labour have allowed 3.2 million immigrants into the UK. This does not include the illegal ones. The majority of these immigrants haven't integrated into our society, so we have ended up with segregation, not integration. Some of these people are openly against the country that has welcomed them. They call for the introduction of Sharia law in the UK, insult our troops, burn poppies and bomb innocent people. They shout their hatred on the streets of Britain, and due to political correctness, nothing is done. Yet when we peacefully protest, we are arrested, remanded or on bail for months, to then have all charges dropped. This has happened time after time. This is a waste of public funds just to cause us inconvenience. It won't stop us doing what we do. Although I have to say, I don't include the police officers here today in this, but the police are not the battering ram of the political elite. Regardless of one's political views, you have the democratic right to peacefully protest, and I urge the powers that be to remember that. We've all seen the protests from the students and other groups. Everybody in this country has the right to protest, whether they agree with us or not. They have the right to be here today. I respect that right. They should respect our right to also protest peacefully in what we're against. Off our streets, Nazi scum! 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 Off our streets! Believe it or not, I don't like Nazis either. We are facing difficult times ahead as these cuts hit home. Ignore them. We are facing difficult times ahead as these cuts hit home while the cost of living rises. We've seen the uprisings in the Middle East. This could easily spread into Southern Europe, and never say never, it could happen here. Mr. Cameron, you need to listen to the people you represent. Ignore them at your peril. Unless you want to see civil unrest and the fall of your government, just like we are seeing in the Middle East today. The recent dispatches programme highlighted what was being taught in some Islamic schools, teaching young Muslims to hate our Western society. These young people are, in their own words, the future imams and community leaders. This is what radical Islam is all about, spreading hatred and pursuing their final goal to turn the UK into an Islamic state and for radical Islam to dominate the world. We cannot allow this to happen. We have to stand united against the evil that is radical Islam. There is no place for any extremism in the UK, and we must fight all enemies of the crown. God save our Queen, keep the faith, no surrender.
SDL! SDL! SDL!
Nazi scum! Off our streets! Nazi scum! Off our streets! Nazi scum! Off our streets! Nazi scum! Off our